Rolling.
Rolling, rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. Universal healthcare.
Hey, this is Chris.
It's Mike. We're unplugged and awake.
Unplugged and Awake.
Yep.
From Michigan.
Yes. Almost every one of our videos we've ever had, we sometimes, most of the times, almost every time, mention universal healthcare.
Because it's connected to everything.
It is. It would solve a lot of this country's problems. Big time right now. But people always, how can you pay for this? Well, we can't.
How are you going to pay for that?
Yeah, how are you going to pay for it?
How are you going to pay for that?
We're going to play you a little something from September 10th of 2001. And just take a little listen, should you? Would you? Could you? You will. Here we go. It better work this time.
Pentagon. The day before 9/11, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld declared war, not on foreign terrorists.
The adversary is closer to home. It's the Pentagon bureaucracy.
He said money wasted by the military poses a serious threat.
In fact, it could be said that it's a matter of life and death.
Rumsfeld promised change, but the next day, the world changed. And in the rush to fund the war on terrorism, the war on waste seems to have been forgotten.
My '03 budget calls for more than $48 billion in new defense spending.
More money for the Pentagon when its own auditors admit the military cannot account for 25% of what it already spends.
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
2.3 trillion.
Did you hear that number? 2.3 with a T trillion dollars unaccounted for. And this is 16 years ago. Unaccounted for.
Trillion. With a T. That's crazy.
But and you know goddamn well that this has been going on. There was just a report recently. It happens every year, 2 or 3 times. Suddenly they lost some money and they don't know how many. Just in 2016, $43 billion missing. And we're not going to play this whole clip. But there was a guy who worked, there was an officer that worked for the office at the Pentagon. And while they were doing all this investigation, said, hey, here's $300 billion that it's not accounted for. And his boss said, what do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care about $300 billion?
Yeah.
This is the reason why they say we can't pay for it. Because they don't want to pay for it. They don't care. Because they just blow money like they're smoking it out of their fucking assholes. I mean, what's going on here? So don't tell me we can't pay for universal health care and free college. But we're going to talk about universal health care. The fact is, if we were to go to single-payer universal health care, we already said this in a couple of videos, would save $5 billion a year. Save. Not just save that amount of money every year. The government would save. But we know why they don't want to do it. Because the big pharma companies and all this shit. But anyways, there are so many countries. We're the only one in the entire planet that doesn't have universal health care. We're the only ones that says we're the richest country the planet has ever seen, and we don't care that you're going to die. Who cares if you got cancer? Just go in the corner, shut your goddamn mouth, and go and die. That's what our government is saying to us. And now this new crappy-ass healthcare system that's coming with Trump, I mean, what the hell? It's worse than the last one.
And the last one sucked ass.
Yeah, it's way worse. And now the budget, also suddenly, we can't pay for universal health care, but how many is he going to put into the military when we have the largest military with the next 7 militaries combined? Ours is more expensive than all 7 combined. The next most expensive ones. But we can't have universal health care.
More than half, anybody watching this, tell a friend, over half of your paycheck, the taxes you pay, over half of your taxes go to support the military. They go to the Pentagon. And it's like, for the military budget, we don't have an enemy right now.
It's going to be over $660 billion for our military. We're not using tanks. Yeah, we made bombs on people, but we don't need warships. Yeah, unless we're going to nuke somebody, which they want to do. You know, North Korea. Oh, God, they're so scary, but whatever. It's sickening. It's just makes me want to puke.
That's why most presidents, since the beginning, George Washington said we shouldn't have a standing military.
No.
Benjamin Franklin said we should not have a standing military. a lot of people, I won't throw insults, but a lot of people get bent out of shape over the Second Amendment. It was put in there because we weren't supposed to have a standing army.
Right.
In times of need, each citizen was supposed to go get his gun and protect the country.
Go get his gun now, not keep it at home.
Exactly, from the armory.
The militia was supposed to keep it exactly, lock and key.
Yeah, from the armory. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted off into that.
Right.
The point being that the military is an industry. It's more than an industry.
Yes.
It runs our country. It is taking over.
Look what Eisenhower said in his speech.
Eisenhower, a 5-star general who had seen war, seen death, and he was a celebrated warrior.
Yes.
Said, beware the military industrial complex, because he knew, hey, this is getting too big. You got to shut them down. It's like you have to have a war to justify.
I was going to look it up.
The military.
Yeah, and the point is, what he says in that speech, and back in 1957, I think it was.
Eisenhower speech?
Yes.
Yeah. He was on his
way out. It was
of
his farewell
office.
speech. And he was saying, no, that was the Iron Cross speech of how much a bomber is. And it would be like 8,000 homes and how much all these different things we spend in the military could go to help people.
Yeah.
We don't need all this stuff right now.
For every plane, that's a new school and a library.
Yes.
It's like, over half of your taxes, over half.
Yep.
That could pay for universal health care, could pay for free college.
Yes.
It's like, how are you going to pay for that? It's like, why don't...
We're already paying for it.
What? Yeah. Why are we the richest country in the face of the earth, but we don't have...
We want to be behind every other country. I thought Trump, you want to make America great again. We want to be number one. We're number nothing, and we don't excel at anything. We're behind in education, healthcare, not only just our healthcare, but life expectancy. We're worse than that. We're like number 7 or something in the world. How is that being good? How is that the richest country in the world? Half of our citizens are starving, and half of that reason is because we don't have universal health care. Because people can't... Why should someone have to work 2 jobs just to pay their goddamn bills? Especially for health care.
And still not make it. Medicare was started when we were born in 1965. That's how old we are.
Yep.
And the intention was for the enrollment age to drop every
year
in our
last video
until everybody
is covered.
Was covered.
Everybody covered.
But throughout the years, they've been chipping away at it and making it weaker, and doing a 3-card money. You know, it's like if you sign up, your mom is retired. She's getting Medicare, Medicaid. Social Security.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you sign up for Medicare Advantage,
oh, that's horrible.
That's not Medicare.
No. Anybody who
your government
got a mom or you're old enough to hear this, do not sign up for that, because that is a scam.
It's the middleman.
Yep.
It's like, okay, I'm Uncle Sam. You're a citizen. You pay your taxes your entire life. Now it's time for you to be taken care of. You sign up for Medicare. Hey, there's no middleman. You go to the doctor. We'll pay the bill.
That's it. And that's not an entitlement.
And that's Medicare. That's Medicare. Medicare Advantage is, hey, we put the insurance company back in the mix.
Yep.
It's like, now you get sick. Wait, I'm Uncle Sam. I got your Medicare money. Here it is. Yep. Oh, I'm going to give it to
this guy,
the insurance company.
And then he's going to give you a hard time
Medicare Advantage.
For paying stuff.
And now they don't want to pay off.
Nope.
They don't want to pay. They want to deny things, because everything they deny means more money they get to keep.
Right.
And it's like our government is killing us.
Yes.
And we need to fight back.
And the good thing is, right now they got 111 sponsors that are pushing for it. There's the last video we said that John Conyers from our state has been putting through HR 676 every year since 2003. No, 3, yeah. Every year. But this time it's improved Medicare. Yeah. It covers everything. Dental, your
Can
glasses.
you imagine going to see the dentist?
Everything.
The eye doctor, going to get a checkup. No copay.
And it's not an entitlement.
Yeah.
It's
paid for with your tax dollars.
Exactly. We pay for
that. That are going to support the military industrial complex.
Exactly.
Yeah. And instead of going to get a bridge or whatever it is you need, you're paying for a bomber. You're chipping in. I got to pay my part to support. You're not supporting the troops. They make They make minimum wage.
Yeah.
The troops might as well be working at McDonald's, okay?
Right.
Because when they get out of the service, they're
We treat them like
ass out.
shit.
They're ass out.
Yep. Goddamn right.
Yeah. Support our troops. Support our troops by supporting universal health care.
Exactly.
Medicare
so when they
for
come
all.
home, and yes, the VA is awesome. And on a whole, you've heard little horror stories, but that's just so few and far between.
It gets defunded.
Yes, that's the problem. That's starving the beast. That's what they want to do right now in
Starving
this
the beast.
administration. On both sides. Because guess what? The Democrats aren't all powerless, but they just don't give a shit either. They want to starve the beast. That means let's go ahead and defund it and say, I told you it doesn't work, see? Like they did, like we talked about before with the
they're
Postal
doing it with
Service.
the postal. Yeah,
Yep.
they're doing it with all departments.
Yep. And now they want to cut from Medicare. They want to cut Social Security. They
And
want to
they
cut
have
Meals
to.
on Wheels. They want to do all this stuff. They don't care about anybody but themselves and their donors. That's all. Yep. So as long as we keep fighting, and it's on everybody's mouths, even on both sides, Republicans, Independents, Democrats are saying, no, this is what we need to push for.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. Thank you, Bernie. And nobody talked about it until this guy tried to run.
Yeah.
Yes, we love Bernie. We will love Bernie. And all you naysayers, you know what? At least he's doing something. You know?
Yeah.
So, put that in your bean and smoke it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So now you know a little bit more about universal health care. A lot of countries have it. We need it.